These two were members of a secret assassin group working under the direction of the CIA, but they violated the rules by developing feelings for each other and also had a son together. Now the assassin team has turned to arrest them to cover up their tracks. The two must run away and do everything to ensure the safety of their small family. What will their journey look like, and who is the person behind everything? Let's find out together in this recap of the movie Shadow Force today. In Miami, Florida, Isaac is a dedicated father spending time with his 4-year-old son. He wears a hearing aid while his son looks at him and asks about the scars on his father's back, wondering if they are from fighting with bad guys. Isaac smiles gently and answers yes. The boy asks why, from birth until now, he has never met his mother. Isaac tells him that his mother is out there, confronting the bad people to protect the whole family's safety. To encourage him, he also tells his son stories about his mother. After bathing, both father and son go to bed. When his son is asleep, Isaac listens to his favorite song alone and recalls his wonderful wedding. Meanwhile, in another place, an assassin group is implementing a plan to destroy a target, but they don't know it's completely a trap. The commander realizes this too late and is killed by a female assassin with a single bullet. That female assassin is Kyrah, Isaac's wife. She is performing her own mission, destroying former members of Shadow Fox, a secret assassin unit of the CIA where she and Isaac used to be members. But now that unit is hunting both of them. The next day, Isaac and his son go to the bank to handle some procedures. Here he has a bit of trouble due to the high cost of a withdrawal. While talking to the bank staff, suddenly 3 masked bandits rush in holding guns. They order everyone to lie down on the floor. In the midst of the chaos, Isaac discovers that his son is frightened. He steps forward and asks one of the robbers to release his son. But the bandit only smiles and points a gun to threaten him. "Well, dare to touch my son? It seems you've chosen to die." Isaac coldly removes his hearing aid. After a few quick moves and the sound of gunfire, the bandits are completely defeated. Shortly thereafter, Isaac and his son rush out of the bank and get in their car. As they drive through the streets, Isaac knows the recent incident revealed his whereabouts, so he tells his son that they will have to leave this place for a while. Meanwhile, in Mexico, Jack, the newly appointed G7 Secretary General, watches a news report about an investigation into his past, focusing on the time he was the head of the CIA's Shadow Fox unit. Doubts are increasing around the shady activities under his command. Uncomfortable, a secretary comes and announces that Kyrah has destroyed another member of Shadow Fox. Half of the members have been killed. Only 5 of the original 12 remain. The secretary also informs him that Isaac has been recorded on camera defeating robbers at a bank. After reviewing the video, Jack suddenly realizes that the real reason Kyrah and Isaac left the unit 5 years ago was not betrayal, but to protect their son. Jack immediately orders a comprehensive investigation of Isaac's whereabouts and mobilizes the remaining assassins. He offers a $50 million bounty for the heads of the couple. Elsewhere, Kyrah, while resting, also sees the video of the bank robbery today through an internal assassin network. In Spain, a woman known as Z, working under the Inspector General's office, is monitoring Jack's activities with her colleague. They are operating under deep cover, surveilling members of Shadow Fox, hoping to find something shady about Jack. In the United States, at the G7 Command Center, Jack speaks before the leaders of 7 nations about the scandal related to his Shadow Fox unit. He reveals that 8 years ago, he was recruited by the U.S. government to lead the CIA's top-secret initiative called Shadow Fox, a unit of excellent agents responsible for carrying out assassinations around the globe. Jack explains that Isaac was formerly a commander in the team who fell in love with a female spy named Kyrah, even though emotional entanglements in the unit are prohibited. When they left the organization, they took sensitive intelligence with them. To prevent the secret information from getting out, Jack reassures the council that he has doubled the bounty and will use all means to catch Isaac and Kyrah. Elsewhere, Kyrah, while resting, also sees the video of the bank robbery today through an internal assassin network. In Spain, a woman known as Z, working under the Inspector General's office, is monitoring Jack's activities with her colleague. They are operating under deep cover, surveilling members of Shadow Fox, hoping to find something shady about Jack. In the United States, at the G7 Command Center, Jack speaks before the leaders of 7 nations about the scandal related to his Shadow Fox unit. He reveals that 8 years ago, he was recruited by the U.S. government to lead the CIA's top-secret initiative called Shadow Fox, a unit of excellent agents responsible for carrying out assassinations around the globe. Jack explains that Isaac was formerly a commander in the team who fell in love with a female spy named Kyrah, even though emotional entanglements in the unit are prohibited. When they left the organization, they took sensitive intelligence with them. To prevent the secret information from getting out, Jack reassures the council that he has doubled the bounty and will use all means to catch Isaac and Kyrah. Meanwhile, Isaac and his son arrive in Colombia. Crossing the jungle and rugged terrain, they reach a safe house. After carefully checking everything around, Isaac rests peacefully. That night, during dinner, his son looks up and asks him why, when fighting the bandits at the bank, he had to remove his hearing aid. Isaac stops to think for a while, then explains that when he doesn't hear noise, it helps him focus more. Time seems to slow down so he can defeat the bad guys. Back in Miami, Kyrah's mind returns to 4 years ago when their son was just born. She is treating Isaac's wounds after a battle. He tells his wife that Jack will not stop until the two are arrested, so Isaac suggests surrendering himself, hoping that can end the pursuit and protect their child. But Kyrah stops him, saying that won't be enough. She reveals a secret she has never said before. Even before Isaac joined Shadow Fox, Jack was in love with her, but she never responded to his affection. And when she refused, he retaliated by demoting her, isolating her, and making her missions more and more dangerous. However, Kyrah never gave in. She tells Isaac that Jack's hatred is not just professional.
It's also personal. She finally makes a decision. She proposes to pursue the remaining Shadow Fox agents and defeat Jack. She asks Isaac to do the more difficult work, which is to protect their son. Isaac knows this is too dangerous and wants to handle it himself, but Kyrah doesn't agree. She promises him that when the mission is completed and the danger has passed, they will reunite and live together as a family. Returning to reality, Kyrah sends a secret message to Z and Isaac. After receiving the message, Z immediately discusses it with her colleague. They start an analysis to see where Isaac may have escaped so they can support him. That night, while sleeping, Isaac hears a sound in the wooden house. Thinking someone has broken in, he immediately picks up a gun to check. To his astonishment, the shadow that breaks in is Kyrah, but her face shows anger. She is clearly unhappy that Isaac revealed their son's position. A tense confrontation erupts. Their fight is fierce, both physically and emotionally. The husband and wife meet after a long time in this tumultuous way. But then, they suddenly notice a small shadow standing there. Their son has been silently watching everything. Kyrah hesitantly walks towards the boy, putting her gun away gently. She smiles gently and tells him that she is his mother. The mother and son embrace each other after a long time. When he goes to bed, the boy is still nervous, afraid that when he wakes up, his mother will be gone. Isaac reassures him to rest easy. The whole family will always be together. Here, Jack gathers the 5 remaining Shadow Fox spies at his home. He informs them that the bounty on Kyrah and Isaac has now doubled. Anyone who completes the task will receive the entire amount of $100 million. He also says that it is because of the two of them that the organization has been shattered. Their betrayal not only caused great losses, but also claimed the lives of other members. More importantly, Jack also says that there is a mole secretly providing him with information on Isaac and Kyrah's position. At this time, the Isaac couple is arguing. He asks his wife if the plan is to hide forever like this. Kyrah says she has been eliminating the agents hunting her and her son while still working in secret. She also says that Jack has activated the Shadow Fox group and now they are trying to search for them. Kyrah suggests contacting Z, who is currently working with the Inspector General's office. She believes that with official support, they may have a chance to overthrow Jack. But Isaac brushes this away, saying that if they do so, they will be tied by the law and cannot destroy Jack once and for all. With a slight smile, Kyrah responds that if they play by the rules, they have absolutely no chance, not to mention that Isaac's skills are certainly no longer at their peak as before. Then, she challenges her husband to a shooting contest. To his surprise, she hits the target perfectly. Isaac retorts that he spent 5 years raising his son, so he didn't have time to practice. Kyrah laughs, teasing that he was always a poor shot, even when he was in the team. She lifts her sleeve, revealing an old scar on her shoulder from when Isaac's shot went wide on an old mission. Later, Kyrah introduces her genuine car, equipped with a bulletproof system with a specially safe core, ready for the upcoming trip. Isaac asks where they will meet. She explains that their enemies will find them, but until then, it is necessary to keep moving. Meanwhile, after receiving a message that Kyrah and Isaac were in Colombia, Z and her colleague immediately board a plane. During the flight, Z reviews surveillance video of one of the Shadow Fox spies. This guy always disappears with important information at key moments, which Z finds very strange. She tells her colleague that she suspects there is an insider feeding information to Jack's side. Back to the main characters, the whole family is happily talking while moving. They drive into a dense fog. Suddenly, Z reports that enemies have appeared around them. Isaac realizes a group of motorcyclists is accelerating towards them. They quickly narrow the gap, firing continuously to attack. Knowing the enemy is attacking, Kyrah opens a secret compartment in the backseat's core and quickly places her son inside. The space is lined with security, allowing her to then shoot back. Bullets fly. Behind them, a truck constantly rams their rear. Isaac drives violently on a narrow road, trying to keep distance from the enemy. In a desperate move, Kyrah manages to blow up the truck. But at this moment, the enemy blocks the way ahead, shooting warmly towards them. The car loses control, flips over, and plunges into a river. Miraculously, a moment later, all 3 escape and climb out. Kyrah is covered in mud and blames herself when she learns that those chasing her family were the remnants of Shadow Fox, the most notorious assassins. On the other side of the mountain slopes, the attackers gather near the riverbank, watching the water sweep the car away. One of them calls Jack to report that the target vehicle has fallen into the water, with no signs of movement. Perhaps they died. Jack's voice is angry. What he needs is not perhaps, but certainty. He orders them to find proof of life or death by any means necessary. At a hiding place, Isaac expresses anxiety that only Z and her colleagues knew their position. Kyrah remains calm, assuring her husband that she understands her friend and Z would definitely never betray them. It has been a long time since the couple met again. Kyrah gently says that 2 years ago at an event, she was nearby. She took the opportunity to
touch his and her son's head before disappearing into the crowd. Isaac giggles, his eyes softening. He admits he knew it was her because he felt it. In a quiet moment, they lean on each other and share a passionate kiss after years of separation. But the next morning, when Isaac wakes up, he does not see Kyrah anymore. On a secure line, Kyrah calls Jack. His complacent voice fills the silence. He mocks her, declaring that there is no place in the world she can hide that he cannot find. He also says that he has doubled the bounty to $100 million and will triple it tomorrow. Kyrah interrupts him and demands a meeting at his own island off the coast of Cartagena to solve the problem. However, she warns Jack that if he targets her family, she will uncover all his darkest secrets to the government. Meanwhile, in Bogotá, Z and her colleague have just entered their car when they find Isaac waiting in the back seat with a gun. Without wasting time, Isaac demands to know Kyrah's whereabouts. Z and her colleague resolutely deny any knowledge. Z reveals that she has helped Kyrah during her time away, so she would definitely not be a traitor. After that, they take Isaac and his son to a temporary safe house where they can calm down and plan their next move. Meanwhile, Kyrah drives a boat alone to the island. Upon arrival, Jack's people immediately search her for weapons. She remains calm and maintains her style, facing the enemy without flinching. Her demeanor makes Jack curious, and he orders his people to retreat. Kyrah slowly approaches, reaching behind Jack's back. Suddenly, she pulls out a gun and fires without hesitation. The bullet hits its target, but unfortunately for Kyrah, under his outfit, he is wearing a bulletproof vest. Realizing she was tricked, Jack orders his underlings to capture her after a brief struggle that leaves her unconscious. Back at the safe house, Isaac is changing in the middle of the room when the door suddenly explodes. Some Shadow Fox members rush in. He tries to resist, but because the enemy outnumbers him, he is finally handcuffed and captured. Kyrah wakes up and sees that she is tied to a chair. Later, Isaac is also brought in. She sees her son and whispers softly that everything will be fine. Z is also brought in with her hands tied shortly thereafter. What surprises everyone is that her colleague is the insider. He sold the group's location to Jack. Z is extremely angry, never expecting that he was the traitor. Jack now appears, saying that the original plan was to execute both of them in front of their son. But now he has a better idea, to create a Shadow Fox team version 2.0 and train the son of Isaac and Kyrah to be a member. He calls it a fitting punishment for the two of them for destroying his secret empire over the past 5 years. Kyrah now turns to her former teammates and tells them the truth. Jack abused his position, constantly soliciting her. When she rejected him, he retaliated, tearing away her promotion opportunities and pushing her to the edge of the organization. But all of that is no longer important. Now all she wants is for her family to be safe. Suddenly, 2 of Jack's subordinates pull out their guns and point them at him. The room freezes. It turns out these 2 are agents from the Inspector General's office who have been collecting evidence of Jack's crimes related to Shadow Fox for several years. This is an unforeseen factor that changes the situation. As the agents prepare to handcuff Jack, one of the Shadow Fox members is shot and grabs a gun to attack. Chaos explodes. A fierce battle takes place. Isaac and Kyrah also take the opportunity to grab guns from the ground and join the fight. Jack, while scrambling, is accidentally hit by a bullet. He tries to crawl into the kitchen to get a hidden gun. The war continues. One of the 2 agents is seriously injured, but before closing his eyes, he also takes down a Shadow Fox killer. Here, the traitor tries to escape, but runs into Isaac's son. While trying to grab the boy, he is suddenly controlled from behind. Angry at being betrayed, Z gives him a beating until he is no longer a threat. As for Kyrah, she faces another female assassin. Although they were once colleagues, there is no mercy now. She throws a knife into the opponent's neck, then delivers a final blow. By the time the war ends, everyone is reunited, but they realize that Jack has escaped. Isaac and Kyrah know what they must do. Jack must die, for their son to be safe. They hand the boy to Z to take care of, then both set out to chase the enemy. A chase with canoes at sea takes place, the 2 sides trading shots. Bullets fly. After a collision, Isaac is thrown out but fortunately clings to the canoe. Finally, thanks to Kyrah's skilled steering, Jack's boat is directed and crashes into a nearby island. Knowing time is limited, Isaac and Kyrah split up to cover the area and find the enemy more easily. Meanwhile, after the collision, Jack stumbles into a wedding party. Guests scream and run at the sound of gunfire. Hearing the noise, Kyrah immediately moves there. Elsewhere, Isaac discovers the final assassin of Shadow Fox. They battle each other, fighting up and down the rustic terrain. Although exhausted, Isaac finally disarms the opponent and finishes him. After defeating the enemy, he reaches the party. In the chaotic scene, he discovers that his wife is being held hostage by Jack. Jack is hiding behind Kyrah, thinking that Isaac will not dare to open fire. But life is not like a dream. Kyrah looks straight into Isaac's eyes, then slightly tilts her shoulder. That is their signal. Without hesitation, Isaac opens fire. Jack is hit by the bullet and then is shot dozens more times. And our two main characters take advantage of the moment to embrace. In the end, all dangers have passed. A month later, they celebrate their son's birthday at home. A happy atmosphere with laughter is everywhere. The happy life that Kyrah and Isaac have long dreamed of. At this time, Kyrah receives a call from Z, who says she has officially left her contract with the government and is planning to establish a better version of Shadow Fox, a team built on righteousness. She also invites Kyrah to participate. Kyrah smiles and says, maybe someday. After that, Isaac rests his head on her thigh. In a peaceful moment, they feel that all the hardships have been worth it for their current happiness. Kyrah also reveals to her husband that they are about to welcome a second baby. The movie ends here. This is a sensational action film from the US just released, called Shadow Force. In general, this is not a very good movie. The scenario is full of cliches. Some stabs or shootouts are nothing special. Overall, it's best to let the kids at home watch it for a less saddening experience. I personally rate this movie a 2 out of 10. Well, today's video is over. If you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to leave a like and leave a comment in the section below. Goodbye, and see you again in the next videos.